Big John Entertainment, in association with Pullman Media, brings you a musician's podcast. The hosts here aren't the focus. You, the musicians, are. It's all about your music. Right here, right now. This episode features the music of San Diego native Andrew Barrack. This jazz lover admits he's heavily influenced by the 3 J's, and that's not Jim, Jack, and Johnny. He brings with him a track to debut from his brand new full-length album due out soon. The track is called Nowhere, and the album title is also debuted during the episode. Tune in and enjoy. Enjoy. Andrew.
Hello. It's always awkward to adjust someone's mic right in front of their face, especially when I'm standing up and they're sitting down. It's just like
I just had to picture that again. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
It was. I have no idea what he was. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, Andrew, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
Thanks for coming over, man.
I had some coffee today, and I normally don't drink coffee, so if I get
little extra energy.
Hey, you know what? That's okay. So you're welcome to the Dusty Futon, where you can get a little crazy if you want.
If we take like a 15-minute break to go run a mile, then that's just what's gonna happen.
We're here to do what you need to do.
If that's the case, I mean, can we wait till we're done talking at least?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can.
Okay,
we'll race after this.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll run a marathon right after this.
Marathon, no.
So tell me something about you, man. I didn't get really any time to research you.
No,
I've
it's
been
all
kind of
good.
busy. So
yeah, I am a San Diego native. Which is cool.
Awesome.
That's rare.
Yeah.
You got 2 of them sitting right in front of you.
I am from La Mesa.
Yes.
So,
local boy.
Not much going on over there.
It's quaint. It's quaint.
When I grew up, I was like, yeah, La Mesa. Well, I actually grew up in Tirisana, which is really cool. And then moved to La Mesa, and I was like, man, everything is over here in La Mesa. But then as I started playing around, I'm like, man, everything is in North Park. Which is not anywhere close to La Mesa, but
no, it's actually closer than the rest of East County is, though.
Yeah,
it's true.
And I'll tell you,
Marcos.
Santee is this is San Marcos where we're at right now. But
he
I grew up
pointed down and said Santee as if we were in Santee.
Did I? Is that what? Well, you know what?
His shoe is Santee.
It is.
Let's not carry that one any further. So, Andrew, what type of music do you play, man? Because I haven't listened to any of your music yet. I'm excited to hear what's going on here.
Yeah. The easiest way to classify it by hurting my feelings only a little bit is just saying Jason Mraz.
So singer-songwriter.
Singer-songwriter.
Okay. Wait, you know what? You did start playing a little bit for me a few days ago. Okay, so I heard a little bit and I went like, okay.
Are you thinking of trying to go with a different kind of hat? You should go bowler hat instead of the fedora.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think I have to just go to a hat store, find the right hat.
Yeah. Try on a bunch of them.
Maybe I just be the beanie guy.
I love how he completely missed the fact that I've slighted an artist for the first time on this show.
I wanted to distract from that.
I thought that was another thing we were just not going to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
I like to bring
up
awkward
I'll
moments.
applaud you for that.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I can't believe I slid that under the radar for you.
No, I got it.
No, you didn't.
I got it.
What do you think?
What do you think? We all got it.
We
all got it.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Moving on to so you're singer-songwriter. So where did you get your start? Like what brought you to first, or did you start singing first, or did you start playing guitar first?
I started playing piano first, and I was like, hey, I don't like this.
And then quit for a while, or what?
Yeah, when I was younger, my mom, thank you, Mom, she said, take piano lessons. And I remember I learned Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I was like, is this all that there is? And so I was like, I don't want to do this. And then the day came when I picked up a guitar. It had 3 strings. And I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. And little did I know there were actually more strings that I could use, and so that was nice. But I grew up listening to jazz when I was younger. my dad would only let me listen to jazz. 88.3 shout out, it's one of the best.
Isn't that college radio?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so. It gets really weird after like 9 o'clock.
Isn't that? I think most colleges have like this anything goes hour, usually in the evening time.
It's kind of like, hey, you want to be on the radio? But I've only been playing for like 2 days. Oh, it's cool. Like, no one's going to be listening after 9. Between the hours of like 9 to like 4 a.m., they just expect no one's listening, but we're listening. Hey, but great radio. I don't mean no disrespect.
Yeah.
But anyways.
So have you been on that radio station, though?
No.
No? Okay. Well, anyway, continue.
One day.
Yeah. So continue.
But long story short, I consider my influences as the Triple J's. Jason Mraz, Jack Johnson, John Mayer.
Wow. That's
Triple
like,
J. You said the first two, I knew the third one was coming.
as soon as you said the 3 J's. Yeah, as soon as you said the 3 J's, I'm like, I just know this is coming.
I think
because I know it's not Johnny Walker, Jim Beam, and Jack Daniels.
Well, those were my later influences.
Those are most rock stars' influences.
Jack Daniels, we'll get there. We'll get there maybe.
One of these days.
We'll get there after the episode.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't say our goings on too often here. Come on now.
Yeah, but
yeah.
That's I started just kind of learning every song, and the first EP that I put out a couple years ago was just a compilation of like me being overly inspired by other artists, and so it may sound a little too much like this and that person, as I started playing more and writing more on the guitar, I joined a band, and I was like, hey, like I kind of want to sing too. So shout out to Spoken Remedy, the college band. Yeah, gotta give those guys a what's up. We still are good friends, so that's cool. But I started like doing the backup vocals, and then we all kind of separated a little bit, and I just kind of went to college and started singing, doing covers of Thrift Shop, which I don't recommend.
About that yesterday.
I don't recommend it because usually when
how would you cover that song as a singer-songwriter?
You throw some jazz into it, man.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was cool.
Because the beat is a big focal point of that song.
I think people just get impressed in general when you can do it, but what ended up happening was, sometimes I forget lyrics to songs where there's a lot of words, and it's not one of those songs that you can be like, sing it, because nobody knows the verses.
No.
So when I was like, come on, guys, it was just crickets.
Oh, no.
And then when I got to the chorus, everyone's like, okay, this is a part that I know.
Yeah. Yep. That's typical.
Don't cover rap songs unless you know them fully.
Well, what you gave me a couple of songs via email.
Yes, I did.
And which one of those is from your early EP that you were just talking about?
You can go High Off of Love,
all right,
or Won't You Stay With Me, which was the follow-up to that. So I guess High Off of Love.
We'll start off at the beginning with Andrew with High Off of Love. Now, which EP is this off of?
High Off of Love.
This is the
High Off of Love.
High Off of Love.
Yeah.
All right. High Off of Love off of High Off
the title track.
Someone asked me
High Off of Love.
Something like that.
I tried to explain that to someone at church, and it did not go over well.
No.
I was like, it's not high like that. It's like high as in further.
It's like an emotional thing more than anything.
I promise.
All right. Well, let's take a listen to Andrew. Now, what's your last name?
Barrack.
Andrew Barrack. Do you go by?
I've said it a million times.
You did? Yeah, you
Was
have.
that? Did you say it correct? Was that
Barrack?
Yeah. Good
I'm
for you,
sure.
man. Good for you.
I'm
There's not
sure.
a lot of
What do people say? Barack?
Barrack.
What?
When I was in middle school, someone called my name for an award, and they didn't pronounce my last name wrong, and I didn't even know it was for me.
Wow.
So
that's awful.
Kudos.
All right. So here's Andrew Barrack, High Off of Love.
Step out, step on over to me now, 'cause there's somewhere we've got to be now. Take my hand, I'll lead you there. Just know that this ain't some silly little dare.
Right away, I got to say the first thing I notice is drums. So who's playing drums?
Producer.
Say that.
Lauren Kaler.
Okay.
One of my friends. Yes.
Okay. Nice. So, I definitely see the Jack Johnson.
Yeah.
So-
Also the which was the first one?
Jason.
Jason
Jason
Mraz.
Mraz.
Yes. I hear that a little more than Jack Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see the Jack Johnson more in your melodies,
I
like
agree.
your vocal melodies.
I
Not
agree.
the playing. Definitely
agree.
more Jason Mraz
Right.
style.
Right.
So,
Mhm.
we're picking up. Oh my God, you're picking up on music. He has no musical bone in his body,
Not one.
so it's impressive.
Not
All
one.
right, back to the music.
Let's stay inside and enjoy this ride. So lock the door and close down those blinds. 'Cause when time don't matter, it's our time that matters the most. Just know that this ain't some silly little joke. There's a better view when we're together. Rain or shine, it don't matter the weather. No, you and me, oh can't you see? There's endless possibilities. You and I are meant to fly so high. So let me have you by my side, and together we will fly so high. High off of love now. High off of love. Breathe in the love. Let it take you to places high above. 'Cause our bond is more than ordinary, it's so much more. Our love was made to soar, baby. Soar, baby.
All that's reminding me of is more cowbell.
Yeah.
What?
That just what you were just doing just reminded me of more cowbell.
Come on, man. I was just
I
hanging
know
the
what you were doing. I
ride.
could hear it in the
I was
music.
hanging the
just-
ride.
I
the
think
motion just
this
looked like
this part was kind of inspired by like the Maroon 5 Sunday Morning.
It's
But
funny.
there's
I
a
was going
retake
Bruno
of
Mars.
that. Bruno Mars?
Like I was getting some Bruno Mars
I'll
vibes
take it.
coming
another
there.
fedora wear.
Yeah.
Man.
Like
I
you
guess
got a
there's
lot
a
of,
trend.
You got
There's
a
a
lot
trend.
of a lot of mixtures in there. But let's ride this out. Let's ride this wave to the end. Okay.
Get ready for some
Let's do that.
sax.
All right. Yeah.
So creepy in my headphones.
Yeah, you and me, oh can't you see? There's endless possibility. You and I are meant to fly so high. So let me have you by my side, and together we will fly so high. High off of love now. High off
Ooh, see that end right there, Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
That was a Bruno Mars ending right there. I fucking called it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll
So
take it.
tell me about your songwriting process. Like, there's a lot of more elements to that than a typical singer-songwriter would have. Like, it'd be more. That was a lot more produced than I expected from what you initially told me. So
It was a lot more produced than the producer expected it would be too. I came in with these songs and he was like, "Yeah, dude, these all sound really good." So like drums, bass, and guitar, right? I'm like, and sax and keys and extra percussion and
wow.
yeah, but a lot of that draws from like the big band, Jason Mraz. Like I was very heavily
Yeah.
inspired by him and Andy Grammer in later years.
So that was your first EP.
Yes,
So you just went balls out. You decided to put everything into that first EP.
you got it.
And how'd that go? Did you tour off of that at all, or did you kind of play locally?
I went on local tours.
Local. Like, do you
To
mean
make
like, drag
myself
around
feel
local
better.
bars?
You know, yeah. Well, that was released maybe like 3 years ago. So a lot of that was the reason I released that was because I wanted to start playing shows.
Yeah.
And you can't just go to like a bar and be like, "Hey, can I play here?"
Yeah.
No, that's not how it works, you know.
No.
So
No,
the
you
more I
can't,
started
crazy
learning
guy.
about the music industry and the fact that like it doesn't matter if you're a kid in your bedroom playing guitar, like you actually have to have a product.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah.
all right, let's make a product.
Yep.
And so that's what happened. And going back to the question about songwriting process, a lot of that was just made in the bedroom of just, you know, late nights playing the acoustic guitar. I'm mainly an acoustic guitar guy,
Yeah.
which is fun. And the lyrics kind of
Well, the acoustic guitar is more than just a guitar in of itself. You've got, I mean, there are people who literally do entire soundtracks just off of the body and the strings of an
and you got
acoustic
the
guitar.
loopers too, you know.
The what?
The loopers.
Well, yeah, you can do loopers on you if you do
Loops.
solo, but I mean, you
What are
can,
loopers?
It's a loop pedal. Like if you want
Just
to
the
do
people who are like really loopy and they're just crazy.
yeah, those two.
They
That's
hear,
the first
they
thing that
hear
came into
things
my
more
mind.
than the normal person.
Actually,
would.
no. Joseph Gordon-Levitt came into my mind.
You know the people that that you wake up to on your door stoop in La Mesa.
Oh,
Those are
Those
the
are
fun
the
ones. The fun ones. Fun fact: a hooker was actually near my house the other day. You can edit
Do
that
you
out.
have like an app for that identifies?
I'm not editing that out. It's like he's got,
No, my roommate was
it starts
like
going
was
off
like,
when there's a hooker nearby.
Oh,
It's
it
like,
was your
beep, beep,
roommate.
beep, beep. See, there it goes. It's going off right now.
Yeah, there goes the alarm. Hey man, if you gotta take that.
No,
Oh
no,
my
no,
God.
no. Sorry.
Anyway, no. Where the hell were
That
we?
I'm sorry. I just threw you guys for a loop. No pun intended.
Last thing I remember, we were talking about what hats I should wear.
That was a long time
That
ago.
was a long
oh
time
wow,
ago.
must have been
I'd like,
Speaking of
I'd like to
hats.
revisit that though.
Speaking of hats,
Sure.
and this is a beautiful tie-in. I actually got kind of a Pharrell vibe to some of your lyrics too.
Whoa,
Speaking of hats, yeah.
that might be something.
It's
to
kind of it's
explore.
interesting hearing the things that you guys hear that I don't, like the inspirations and all that. And I think a lot of that is because those guys weren't so popular back then,
Yeah.
but have relevant styles now.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Bruno Mars is kind of a latecomer, but it's more of like
Now it's freaking huge.
yeah, exactly. But he added more of an R&B feel to that singer-songwriter esque music with a little bit more of a flair, and you have that jazzy pull that like.
Gotta have it.
Yeah, well, even Jack Johnson is not as jazzy as you are. Like he's more straightforward, more kind of, I would call it more of a.
He's like acoustic folk pop.
Yeah, exactly, and it's more like kind of a surfer feel than a jazz feel, and you actually having that heavy jazz influence. So tell me about your jazz influence. Who's your? I'm not really a jazz guy, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to ask the random questions that I hear
Yeah.
jazz people ask. So, who's your jazz influences?
What gets
I
you
think-
jazzed?
Oh God, I'm going to
I
smack
think
you.
about that every night, man. As I'm sitting there with my cup of coffee. Just kidding.
What gets me jazzed?
I don't actually have a jazz influence, and I'd hate to say that Jason Mraz is the jazz influence because there's a lot of people out there who would
Because
be
that would
like,
be like the
"Yeah,
third
man."
time you'd said it.
I'm telling you, man, when I was just one of those kids who was like, "Who is this dude?" Like,
Oh, dude,
he's,
I'm
you know,
the same way. I will listen to the same music.
That's
a lot,
all I
a
used to
lot.
listen to, and like even still, like I'll have like the couple albums on my iTunes, not Spotify, that I'll just listen to. I don't listen to the radio unless it's 88.3. So I like
Staying true to your roots. I like
There
it.
you
yeah,
go.
I don't know. I like to listen to the music that I used to listen to. And
Kids,
it's-
support your local radio.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
And
if there is any.
If there is,
If there is any.
that's key.
Let's not get on that
Yeah, we
subject.
don't need to get on that subject.
so, but I don't know. It used to be just like Jason Mraz, and then once I found out a bit about 88.3 and like learning that there's so much jazz music out there that even if you don't have a favorite person, being inspired is just like what it's about. And I don't know who like half the people I listen to are,
Right.
but it's just good music.
Exactly.
And, and I think that's something that Spotify also brings too. It's like, I don't know who half these freaking people are, or most of them actually, but like, I dig this.
Yeah, you don't
You
need
know?
to, and that's one of the nice things about their kind of algorithms is that it actually brings in music that you would not have known where to look.
I do listen to rap music now, and I didn't like up until a year ago. a playlist called The Occasional.
Who's your go-to rapper? Being so fresh.
You know, I don't want to answer that question because I don't want.
He doesn't want to
I
lose
don't-
fans, and he doesn't want to gain the
I
wrong
also don't
fans.
remember because like I don't know who these people are. Like
All right.
I don't know.
No, you know what? Honestly, I don't blame you because sometimes there's
Too much.
there's
music out
something to
there.
be
It's
said
great.
for the noise in your own head. You know, and I like how that rhymed. Do you like that? There's something to be said for the noise in your own head.
That's when you're gonna add in one of those garage band effects.
Yeah.
Yay!
Something, I don't know, maybe a nice little slow it
Little
down
tambourine.
and echo.
Something
But
like that.
the voices that you get in your head, like the noise that an artist usually gets in their head, sometimes it's better to quelch that without, or quelch that.
Quench?
Quelch.
Yeah.
Quench. Quelch is turn
Quench.
down.
Quench your
Oh, okay.
inspiration.
Quench is
okay.
to turn away.
Okay.
But quelch is like to hone in or turn. Isn't that what it's called? Or squelch? I don't know. Whatever. I'm a moron.
I just know that the point you're talking about, but
I
not
think
the
you
word.
bit off more than you could chew with
I
that word.
think so because I've now forgotten where I was going with that. No, anyway, it's better to give to kind of give an outlet to your own noise without having to frame it around anything, and it's
Yes.
unique because
Yes.
there are a lot of people that were lost to the outside world that are still amazing artists, and you don't have to be connected with
Right.
everybody and know who everybody is just to be able to be influenced by it.
Yeah.
So
I think that's also a main difference between my first and second album, EP, as I should say. The first EP is so heavily inspired, and the second one comes from like not knowing who this artist is, or like not like being so inspired that I'm copying. It's like I know what they're playing, but I know what I can play, and this is just how it's gonna sound now. Like
right.
there's a difference from like copying or just being inspired, and I think that's what I
there's
learned
like
over
a
the
difference
course of a
between
couple
trying to
years.
emulate something and then trying to take a sound and make it your own.
Right.
Yeah, there's like a difference between taking what somebody said and changing their words and making it say something exactly the same way,
I
but
was
with just
giving
different
him
words.
A
Right.
set sentence.
you-
My goodness, that was aggressive.
I'm just gonna nod my head and smile.
Oh,
Did you feel that one?
I did.
Did you feel that
right
one?
in the chest. Boom.
I can't miss those opportunities. I have to take those.
You got to take those. You got to take those. Those wide open shots.
That's the noise in your own head, man.
That's the noise in your head.
You gotta get rid of it somehow. Otherwise, well, let's not go there because that could go anywhere. So okay,
Right.
now the other song, "Won't You Stay With Me," is that off the next E EP?
That was just a song that I finished, and I was like, it was already after the EP was done, the first one, and I was like, oh man, I missed my shot. And then I was like, wait a second, I can still record this. Like, my career isn't done. So went back to the same producer, and this one isn't as inspired by a direct artist. It has the elements of jazz with some reggae, and I always think everything has pop because it needs to have pop to be catchy sometimes, maybe not all the times, but like
Catchy is what makes it pop.
yes.
Like if you've got
That's the way to
something
put it. That's the way to put it.
Yeah, if you got something that sticks in your head very easily, then it becomes automatically
That's
it's
why
pop.
you sing
Yes.
everything you hear on Top 40 stations.
Which is
Yeah.
why I don't listen to top 40 stations.
Because that's
Exactly.
all force-fed crap that's annoying.
yes.
Swallow this formula.
So anyway, let's listen to "Won't You Stay With Me." That's not off of any EP, and apparently wasn't good enough to make it off the
We'll
first
call
one.
it a single.
It's a single. Is this
That's
a single?
what those are.
Okay.
Yes. This was
A
a
single. Won't you stay with me?
I never know which way to go. All I know is when I'm with you, it feels like home. I could be further away from where I started. listen to what my heart says. 'Cause when I'm with you, I don't feel so blue. Maybe it's something that you do. You take my cares away. You take my cares away. And I'll be yours, you'll be mine. Baby, till the end of time. Won't you stay with me? Or won't you stay with me? Yeah. You're what I need to get by. You're my own slice of American pie, yeah. With a smile that shines.
I gotta tell you, I sense a lot more of the surfer
Yes.
feel in this track.
I feel like this one was a little more on the Jack Johnson side.
Definitely.
We have a spectrum now.
We do, and it's like 5 artists wide.
Yeah, it is. Pharrell's on the far right.
Pharrell's on the far right, and you got Jason Mraz on the far left.
Yeah,
And then Andrew Barrack somewhere just in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle.
somewhere in the middle.
Right in there.
Till the end of time. Won't you stay with me? Or won't you stay with me? Oh no, won't you stay with me? 'Cause we've got no place to be. Or we could wake in the morning by each other's side and watch as the sun starts to rise and say to ourselves, there's no one else for.
There's your tambourine.
Yeah.
There it is. I got it. All right.
You know, little do you know, he was the one who played tambourine. on the show.
Yeah.
We've known each other for years.
Yes, we have.
Oh my
Yes, we
goodness.
Yeah.
have.
Take my cares away. You take my cares away. 'Cause when I'm with you, I don't feel so blue. Maybe it's something that you do. You take my cares away, away. You take my cares away, away. And I'll be yours if you be mine. Baby, till the end of time. Or won't you stay with me? Or won't you stay with me? Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Whoa, oh, oh. Or won't you stay with me?
I love that sax. I do. The sax just really makes it incredibly unique to me. So you said you played sax.
I did. Yes.
Okay, so we
Miss
know
those
you
days.
started with the piano,
Yeah.
and now you're in the
Yeah.
guitar. So tell me where sax fits in there.
So when I went to high school, shout out to St. Augustine High School.
Yeah.
I took a music theory class, and I learned a lot about, how to form chords. And so actually what ended up happening was literally a piano just showed up at my house one day.
Okay.
I'm
How
not-
does that happen?
I think it was a gift from like my mom's cousin. I kid you not. I came home one day and there was a piano. But the funny thing is, all of a sudden I knew how to play piano without taking piano lessons for years because I knew like where middle C was.
Yeah.
And then I just literally from that point on just started playing piano.
We just had a guest on, Anthony Collins, a Fallbrook kid. He's 16 years old. He's been playing guitar amazingly for 6 years, and he's just now talking about theory. And it's amazing how that theory can so easily open up practical application.
I forgot all about it because I realized what I was doing is right the whole time. But, it's important to learn it, at least for a little bit, get you to a next level in the music. But yeah, the first song I started playing was Sunday Morning, Maroon 5. It's like, the easiest, jazziest song I could play. And from then on, just started faking my way until I could do it. And from there, I had it's a long story, but I had to be.
We got time. Don't worry.
Good. Oh, time's almost up. Just kidding.
No, I know. Like, what the hell? That was so random. That was an email. I didn't even know.
The email was like, "No, you don't. It's almost over."
That was Twitter.
Someone's watching us.
What the hell?
But I had to be in band if I was in music theory, and the teacher he said, he said, "I'll write you some sheet music, and you can play guitar in band." And I was like, "Well, what else is there?" And someone was like, "Well, we need more sax players if you want to play sax." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds interesting. They'll give me a sax. I'll learn sax for free, and like, I can be the sexy sax man."
There you go.
Of course. Which I eventually taught myself, of course.
How to be the sexy sax man?
Yes.
Okay.
That's when the sideburns came out.
Ah.
Yeah, that was around the time.
1970s. Got
it. Right. Yes. But a lot of squeaks in the beginning, learning how to figure out like what is this thing. I hold down one note and it's an E, like rather than playing an E chord on the guitar is different. But I loved it and I became decently good and it was great. And then I graduated from high school and I didn't have enough money to buy a sax, and now I'm sitting here on the futon talking about how I used to play sax and I miss it dearly. So one day, you'll see me.
I bought a few years ago because I felt like I missed out on playing the sax. So I bought one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've told this story on the futon before, but it may have been a year ago. But I bought a saxophone and I actually taught myself a few chords and I taught myself a couple of progressions.
Yeah.
And it was great, but my roommates were not happy with the saxophone being in my room. So
I would not be happy with you in a saxophone in your room.
So I didn't feel like buying a mute. I didn't want a mute. There's a little cork thing that you put in the front
Did
bell.
you see the blank look on my face and realize that I had no idea what you just said?
The bell of the
his
saxophone.
music vocabulary doesn't go past a tambourine.
No,
Nothing.
he's learning. He's learning.
He's learning.
Yeah, he's like a tambourine. Every time he hears a cymbal crash, he thinks it's a tambourine.
Oh,
But
that's a tambourine, right?
It's-
No,
No,
it's not.
no.
Kind of.
Was that a cowbell? No, right. Cymbal. Never mind. So anyway,
The word cowbell will never be the same.
You know what I just thought of is I
Uh-oh.
wonder how much you guys know about each other. Because by you guys, like, you're interviewing everyone who sits on the futon, and I wonder how many times you guys are like, I've heard this story so many times. I'm curious.
really not.
not too much,
No.
actually.
That's good.
No,
Yeah.
I try to think longevity, even though most people won't be listening to every episode.
Right.
I try to think not longevity, continuity. Well, and longevity. I try to develop, who I am, slowly on the futon, and not to mention he's a new co-host because my other co-host, he went off and joined a band on me, and he's like,
Dang.
So he
Music industry.
overcorrected and got someone who can't play music at all.
Yeah, I decided, you know what? I don't want somebody leaving me for a band again. So I'm gonna go somebody who has no talent whatsoever.
You found him in the tambourine section at Guitar Center. And
Just, what is this?
yeah. You said, hey, man, you know what you're looking for? And he goes, no, I don't. Perfect. Perfect.
Funny you should say that.
Hey, man, like I said, I've known this guy for years.
I
so.
can see that. Yeah. Back to the guest of honor here on the futon, Andrew.
What's up?
So did you sing in high school choir at all?
I sang in college choir,
Okay.
but
Did they classify you as a baritone or a tenor?
tenor.
You were classified
Tenor
as a tenor.
2.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And-
Tenor 2, the low tenor.
Look at you. I think I was a
Yeah.
baritone.
A rich baritone.
Yes.
You're more of a rich baritone. Like I'm a deep baritone because I can hit the baritone notes and hit the low notes. But he's
The thing that was cool, he's like
he's like I have
baritone
no idea.
tambourine.
Yeah. He's like, is that a big tambourine?
tenor tambo.
Yeah.
Tenor 2 tambo.
Oh my God.
We're just gonna keep going on that,
Do it.
man. We're just
Do
gonna
it.
keep going on
Tambourine
that.
is great.
Oh,
This is my new favorite instrument because of this episode.
I'm going to teach
gonna
you
go
how to
buy
play
one.
it. Yeah, I'm going to teach you how
Yeah,
to play it.
there's,
gonna go
there's
buy
all
one.
this talk about you playing the tambourine, and then you're just like, I don't even have one.
Watch I get a tambourine and then I somehow find my way to join
Next
a
time,
band.
next
That
time
would
I'm back on this. You know, you'll be an expert, and we'll just have like a 3-minute tambourine
Yep.
solo.
Yep.
and
Yep. You
It'll
and
be
I will
great.
actually crank out a song this time.
On a tambourine.
That's what
On
we
a
should do. You
tambourine
know what we
and a
should do?
guitar.
We should have someone send us like, what should we write a song about? And
There
then
you
we
go.
spend a couple minutes writing that song, and then we perform it.
That is a good call. I like
That's
it.
a good. Ooh, you know what? Actually,
Oh,
I
I've
think
got
I should
ideas.
call you. I should call you an assistant producer because
I've
that
got
would actually.
ideas.
You're getting off track here, though.
This is
I
gonna be a
am.
good time.
Man,
But is
you're-
there
you're
really an off
testing us.
track if there's no track?
No, and
That's
that's
true.
this is a musician's podcast. It's
Yeah.
for whatever you want. You're the musician.
Cool.
I kind of am.
Let's talk about M&Ms. Since I'm the
M&Ms?
musician. All right, I want to talk
Peanut or
kidding.
peanut butter?
Or caramel.
Crunch.
Caramel.
Ooh. With
The like
crunch.
the wafy the crunch.
Yeah, the crunch.
The
I think they
puffed
were in the blue
rice.
packets.
Is it the wafer?
Yeah,
Is it
puffed-
what-
it's like a
Yes.
puff rice.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
So
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
I love the caramel ones, especially in ice cream.
Not so much with the caramel for me.
Oh, in ice cream, that gets like nice and like, yeah.
I
good.
love how this is a topic right now.
I know.
I love it.
Well, that's what I love about podcasts. It's anything goes. It's like old school radio, the way radio used to be. Like that's why
Talk radio's coming back, baby.
not talk radio. I keep
It's
telling
like,
you this. This isn't talk radio.
What are we doing right now?
We're talking on the radio,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that doesn't make it talk. You
No,
know,
I know it's not talk radio.
we're
It's
playing
talk radio
music.
with some music and some vibes and a little bit of.
Speaking of
Tambourine.
music, you wanted a debut.
Oh snap!
Oh yeah,
Oh snap!
Let's move on to this one.
Let me just say,
Okay.
I am extremely excited for this next album. It's a full length EP. It's 9 songs.
It's not a full length EP. That's an album.
Well, I
A full
thought
length an EP is 5 songs.
I
Generally.
thought it goes to 9.
Well, an album can have 9 songs on it.
Just
Just
Okay.
call it a full
Metallica
length
made
album.
two albums with only.
I
8
think it
songs.
sounds better than like an album with not that many songs.
Well, then you just say a full length album. You don't have to quantify how many tracks are on
My
a full-length
perspective on
album.
life just changed. I
Mind
think all of a
blown.
sudden I know how to play the tambourine.
Okay, so talk about this new full length
Yes.
album coming
Oh,
out.
I'm so excited. Okay, so this is an album we've been working on for the past over a year now. In Ontario, not Canada, up to 15. Such a big difference.
We've done this conversation twice
big
this season
difference.
already.
Yes.
We haven't we?
Yeah,
Oh
we
my
had that
goodness,
conversation
wow.
with Anthony a couple
When I was
episodes
driving up
ago.
here, I was like, should I just call up the producer and say, hey, Ryan, like, I'm coming over? But no, I can't do that. But yeah, so we did an Indiegogo campaign and raised $5,000.
Oh, I
Nice.
I meant to ask about that actually, but we got on track.
Pretty
off track with M&Ms
freaking
and stuff.
cool.
And that's for this upcoming one.
Yes.
So you're still mixing this thing down.
Yes.
So that what
Still
you're giving
getting
me might not even be the finalized album cover or copy or
No.
version.
But it's close. I think there's like maybe just like a couple like volume tweaks on this one that aren't the biggest of deal, but you know, I'm a
Right.
perfectionist.
Well, this
As
Yeah.
most artists are.
so is there a
Enjoy.
working title or an actual title for
The
the album?
title yeah, I can premiere it here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
Ooh.
give some exclusivity to this.
Exclusivity.
Exclusivity, that's a nice word.
It
It
is.
is a nice word.
The title is In Seasons.
In seasons.
It's basically about how there's always change. Everything in life, you're in seasons all the time. Nothing is permanent where you are, and all the songs on the album describe a different season in my life, and they're all different. They talk about different things, and it just kind of encompasses the forever being in seasons kind of.
That sounds like it's a wide step for you to take.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Someone introduced me to the concept of being in seasons when I was feeling down in the dumps about not being able to write music and feeling kind of down about myself. And I went to a show and they said, oh, these are all old songs. I'm kind of in a listening season right now. I'm not in a writing season, and not mad at myself for doing that, because I think we're always in seasons and always changing and progressing. And I was just like, what? If I had a mic, I would have dropped it 10 times. And my mind just blew.
That is a beautiful analogy.
I have never stopped thinking about that. So
Well, let's take a listen to the first track that you've got off the album. This is a debut right here on the Dusty Futon of Nowhere.
Say what's on your mind, and I'll do the same. It doesn't have to be this hard to be on the same page. You know I want to right my wrongs, I want to make us stronger. I'm not the one to drag this on or get hung up on the matter. So I'll give you some truth if you show me some proof. So we don't gotta be stuck in a world maze, looking for a safe place, trying to move on. See, we're caught in a battle without any ammo when we're trying to shoot our guns. But if all we do is fight, we'll never get the mood right. We'll keep on going nowhere.
It's real funky in the second verse.
It was getting funky at the beginning of it. I can't wait to
get so funky.
Woo.
Emotions are fragile, and that ain't no secret. In moments like this, don't make it any different. But just because we keep them safe, don't mean that it's the right thing. So go on, won't you please explain these feelings that you're hiding, and just give me some proof. I want your point of view. So we don't gotta be stuck in a world maze, looking for a safe place, trying to move on. See, we're caught in a battle without any ammo when we're trying to shoot our guns. But if all we do is fight, we'll never get the mood right. We'll keep on going nowhere, and we'll keep on going nowhere.
Dude, this kicks ass.
This does kick ass.
Ready?
Just give me some truth, something to hold on to, something to hold on to. I want your point of view.
So this is gonna be like a little John Mayer neon breakdown right here.
So we don't gotta be stuck in a word maze, looking for a safe place, trying to move on.
There it is.
See, we're caught in a battle without any ammo when we're trying to shoot our guns. But if all we do is fight, we'll never get the mood right. We'll keep on going nowhere. Yeah. If we're stuck in a word maze, looking for a safe place, trying to move on. See, we're caught in a battle without any ammo when we're trying to shoot our guns. But if all we do is fight, we'll never get that mood right. We'll keep on going nowhere, and we'll keep on going nowhere. Keep on, we'll keep on going nowhere. Keep on, we'll keep on going nowhere. Keep on, and we'll keep on going nowhere. Keep on, and we'll keep on going nowhere. Keep on, and we'll keep on going nowhere. Keep on, we'll keep on going nowhere. Keep on, we'll keep on going nowhere. Keep on, we'll keep on going.
That was
Sounds a little different, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it's very very different. You still got your jazz undertones there, and I still feel that, but you added a heavy vibe to it, a heavy funk vibe. That like you get, like you said, I could sense it at the beginning. It was pretty heavy, but that second verse breakdown, you had more of that.
Yeah.
Freaking 70s porn music.
I'm
in the
sitting here
background.
on this, it's like, oh my god, I can't wait for everybody to hear this song, because I mean, like, you can hear like the development and pretty much every aspect of everything.
Yeah, well, it's so well produced. You've got a lot going on, but it complements it. It is much like
the seasons complement each other.
yes, there you go.
One
Nice.
point for the tambourine man. Bring out the drawing board.
I saw it going through in his head. I think he's going to say tambourine at some point.
Yes.
Oh man, but no, you got a good sound there. And actually, do you have a date for the album release yet?
I don't, but it'll be one season eventually.
Oh, wow.
In the most broad,
Okay, that
and
was
poetic
cheesy as
word
hell.
and cheesy that I
was
could say
over.
that.
No, that was too far.
Do I get
now you're
minus 1
fired.
I
point?
thought
Yeah.
he was just about to drop
All
his
right.
mic and get up and leave.
Oh.
I considered it, but this is a Sennheiser. I'm not going to drop a Sennheiser.
You
I
can-
wouldn't recommend it.
No, I wouldn't drop this one either.
No, that's a sure.
You want to just go
can
buy a
drop
mic
kick
right now?
that one.
Okay. You want to drop it? No.
Let's test the effects.
Not that one. I got one you can drop. Where'd that red stripe one go?
We'll find it later.
But the thing about this one that's a little different is it's not 20 minutes from my house in San Diego like the other one. The other one got done in 3 months, and it was different. The time that I have to work on this with this thing called work in my life.
What's that?
Yes.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
It kind of prohibits that, but I'm okay with it because the quality is just it's
You can
freaking
hear
great.
it. I can hear it in just that, and that's not the final mix. So I can't
Yeah.
wait to see what's coming. So do you have like even
I mean, like
a
maybe
time frame?
Yeah, well, I
a
think.
season maybe?
Oh, hey man, that's so cheesy. Oh, that is. I can't believe you
I
just said
forced it. That's what
Yeah,
made
you
it
can't
not
call
cheesy.
him
Just said
cheesy and
that.
then use the same joke. That's being. That's
But I do think if I didn't say that and you said that, it would have been okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I made it cheesy.
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Well, we'll find out. Not really.
But I
Never.
think maybe in the next like 2.5 months,
Okay.
because
So right around Christmas season.
yeah,
That's about a season.
I'm
yeah.
gonna pull a Michael Bublé, and hey, here's a stocking stuffer.
Hey,
Um,
sometimes it works.
we have like so there's 9 songs, like 3 of them are done. The singles are done. There's 3 that are so close to being done. There's 2 that need a little bit more work, and then there's 1 we still need to record.
Okay.
So it's like whenever someone says, "How close are you guys?" It's like I don't know,
halfway there.
because we're like almost there.
Always halfway there.
Just say halfway there.
Halfway.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just keep saying
Oh,
2
I
weeks.
say I
You
do.
said 2 weeks last year.
Yeah, but that was 2 weeks ago.
I mean,
Yeah.
who's to say?
But no, it's cool. I think it's just so different from the other one, and I know a lot of artists are like, "Oh, it's so different, it's so mature," but it's like I guess that's just what happens, and you can't not say
people
that.
mature
Yeah.
and
You know?
grow up and.
Well, when you do something for a long period of time, you actually learn from it.
Yeah,
You grow
for sure.
So
And I
and
think
you're growing definitely just from those different songs. I
Yeah.
can tell that you're growing pretty well, man.
I think I became over the years more of an entertainer, and I try and bring the energy in the songs, because a lot of what I do is solo. I love playing with the band, but like sometimes I can't play with the band.
Mhm.
So I have to figure out how to bring the energy all the time playing at bars by myself.
Yeah.
And I think you could hear from that track, like, there's plenty of sing-along moments, there's plenty of clapping, there's like plenty of parts to keep you engaged.
A lot of gang
And
vocals
that
in the
is
background.
important. Yeah. You can't just like throw on a 4-minute song and like expect someone to like listen.
Intently all the way through.
Yeah, it's like you have to change it up. You have
You
to
like go
catch them
around
by
to everyone
surprise.
at the bar and give them a pair of headphones. Here,
I do pass out
follow
instruments sometimes at my shows.
Along. Really?
Yeah, that's fun.
Wow.
Interesting.
Next time you're there, I'll give you the.
Tambourine.
Give me the tambourine.
I was gonna say bongos, but if you want the tambourine,
Yeah, well, he's going to be working
Can we
on
get a
that, so-
tambourine attachment for the bongos?
yes. You know, I was gonna say tambourine, but I just wanted to pull you off
I
of that
know.
for one,
I
and then
knew
you
you
forced it on
I
yourself.
beat you to it. I made it awkward. And speaking of it, let's go ahead and call it on this one. Thank you, Andrew
Yes,
Barrack.
it's been a pleasure.
Barracks.
Has
That's my
been a
military.
pleasure. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah, I'm
definitely.
happy you guys got to hear a sneak peek, and
Dude, that's
Yeah,
exciting.
That was cool.
a lot going on. Yeah,
Well, where's your where can people follow you on your website or?
working on a website. For now, Facebook, Instagram, I think is where I'm more active.
That's Andrew Barrack, Barrack.
Yes, sir.
Barrack,
Sir.
not Barack.
Barrack, just like the Navy
Barrack.
barracks,
Yes,
the
the barracks.
military barracks.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So Twitter, Instagram.
I have to ask.
Yeah.
How did you guys find me? Because I just got a
I
spam in my
I sit
inbox
there
one
and-
day. Hey, I run this thing called the Dusty Futon. You want to be on it?
That's sketchy.
Yeah, I do.
No, I just kind of go through all the like Bandcamp, SoundCloud, all those,
Dope.
and just kind of look for people that are local or people that are close up in LA or Orange County.
Then he stalks them for a couple of weeks.
I give him a
finds
couple
out,
of creepy messages.
He asked me for
Digs
my
through the
phone
trash.
number, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, this is getting way."
I
Finds
let
where
him know
you're
I
at,
have
digs through your
candy
trash.
and
Starts
puppies.
collecting pubic hairs from your
Whoa.
bathroom. Well, okay, so anyway,
Whoa.
thanks again for coming out. The Dusty Futon.
On that note, thanks.
Yes,
I'll take those
yes,
pubes now if you mind, if you don't mind.
Yes. No.
Thank you for listening to this Big John Entertainment production. Please rate us on iTunes and subscribe to Big John's newsletter on Facebook to get all the updates. Don't forget to subscribe through your favorite podcast service to get all this new music right on your device. Thank you for listening to The Dusty Futon. Follow us on Facebook at The Dusty Futon, on Twitter at Dusty Futon, and Instagram at Dusty Futon. Music written by Big John and produced by Timmy D, Pullman Media.